are saying happy birthday today to a woman who embodies the Olympic spirit. We're talking about speed skater Bonnie Blair.
She was born in New York, raised in Illinois, and lives in the Midwest now. But in 1988, she launched to the public eye when she won gold in the 500-meter speed skating event. She competed in 2 more Olympics, winning 5 gold medals and 1 bronze. That makes her one of the most decorated Olympic athletes of all time.
But when we caught up with her in 2007, it was not skating that brought her to Maine. It was a charity golf tournament. Here's Rob Caldwell.
Well, let's start by talking about the sport for which you're internationally renowned. How is your golf game these days?
Yeah, exactly. My golf game, seasonal. I live in Milwaukee, so kind of like in this area, but gotten probably about 6 rounds in this year, and you know, I can screw up with the best of them, but every once in a while hit one of those great shots that make you come back.
Do you miss skating?
You know, I do. I miss a lot of things about the sport. You know, the camaraderie of my teammates. You know, some of the training I don't necessarily miss, but then yet I miss being in shape like I was. So, you know, it's give or take, but you know, now I've got kids that are growing up. My son's playing hockey, so I'm still in an ice rink, but just for a different reason.
Still a rink rat. That hasn't changed. When you look back on your skating career, are there any couple of moments that are really the ones that you're proudest of or most fond of, the couple that really stand out for you?
Yeah, I think I definitely have to look at '88 and winning my first Olympic gold medal. I think doing something for the very first time has an unbelievable power and emotion behind it that, you know, it's kind of hard to capture that again. And not to say that my other wins weren't thrilling and exciting, but there was definitely a power behind that one. And, you know, then maybe looking at my last Olympics in Lillehammer and winning for the last time, you know, and being on that podium thinking, you know, am I ever going to hear the national anthem as it's being played right now again? You know, probably not. So, you know, I'm lucky. I had a lot of great memories, and I'm glad for VCRs I can kind of go back and really relive some of them all over again.
Well, you had an interesting path because you were in a sport that is not widely embraced in America. So you were not famous until you got famous, and then all of a sudden you sort of turned into America's sweetheart with the Olympic gold medals and so forth. And then once you retired, I assume that you're kind of back to a normal life again.
Yeah, somewhat normal, and you know, that's nice. You know, I get recognized here or there. Sometimes the Voice is a dead giveaway, but you know, people are genuinely nice. You know, it's more of congratulations, thanks for representing our country, and you know, like I said, I had a lot of great memories, and you know, it is something very special to say that you represented the United States doing something, and something you thoroughly loved and enjoyed, and was lucky enough to have success with it.
You're doing motivational speaking now. What's sort of the message? What do you tell folks?
You know, I think one of the most important things is, like I said, find something that you love and enjoy, because what happens is, you know, every day isn't going to be perfect, and to find that thing that you have that passion with, to be able to give back to it day to day, day after day, and even when things aren't going right, you know, that's what it's really all about. But try to find personal bests in your life, whatever it is, whether it's kids in school or in the business world, and always strive to be better than you were the day before.
What do you want to do now? You've got kids, you've got a family, you've got your motivational speaking, but are there mountains out there that you still would like to climb?
You know, I guess in one respect, I feel that I'm pretty lucky that I've climbed a lot of the mountains that maybe I didn't even know were in front of me, and you know, so maybe there's still things out there that I'm still not sure of. You know, even being here and being part of this golf outing for Gary's house, being able to say that maybe I helped somebody along the way to make things better for somebody else, there's no greater feeling than that. And you know, I do a lot of charity work back home in the Milwaukee area, and for various charities. I have a brother with a brain tumor, so you know, doing different things that you can do to hopefully make people's lives better. There's probably no greater mountain out there, and can you ever get to the peak? You're not sure, but you always try to do your best to get as far up the mountain as you can.
Is there such a thing when you've retired from the sport as speed skating for fun? Or do you just put on figure skates or go out and play hockey with your kids? What do you do?
I'm learning to turn right because I always only went left. So get out there a little bit with my son and his hockey team, and we work on some skating drills. So I'm real good at going straight and going left, but I'm learning to go right and hopefully help them along the way.
Well, the thing that was always toughest for me is I couldn't skate backward. Can you skate backward?
And I can do the back. I'm probably better at backwards than going right, but I'm working on both of those.
That's impressive.
That man knows how to do an interview, huh? And obviously, you got a motivational speaker is not a bad subject to get some good sound bites out
Happy
of.
birthday, Bonnie.
Yeah.